Hello, welcome back. I've got a new method here using this gadget, giving me an hour to compose and record, finish a piece using whatever method I decide to use. I'm going to stick on granular synthesis for the next month. I started off just using Pharlight. I thought I was going to use one VST, one plugin per video, but I think I'm going to stick with the style of synthesis and not be interested in what genre I do with that either. Saying that, just to keep the flow going, I did use a kit here. There's a lot of, it's basement kit from Carbon Decay. If you ever get confused, and this has happened to me lots, where did this actually come from, especially if you've got a few different sounds going on. I'm in the arranger view here, so if I just press plugin, there I've got my kick drum there. You've got the magnifying glass. That's all very well. Quite a few of them come up, so what you've got to do is press browser, and that'll take you back to where they're found on your drive system there. Click browser back off and back to arranger view again. So with this timer, I'm going to leave this on, not for this video because it only just occurred to me while I was doing it, but I'm going to leave this going and video the whole thing and then just edit it so you get the process with any important points. And I'm going to try and do the whole thing on Maschine, so this is the view that you'll have. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to turn ozone off. I should possibly put a limiter in there instead. Shift bypass. So yeah, more about Pharlight in another video. It's just the most important thing. If you're going to turn the thing on and have a look at the presets straight away and think, how could I use those? Just check grain and sample and how reverb and delay are being used there. I would probably check master first, just turn any sort of reverb off, because some of them, they've got like 5-10 second long tail in there and you just think, oh no, what am I going to do with this? Sometimes it is the fade out in the grains area, and obviously it can be the envelope. Really simple bass sound. Going through guitar rig, through a mono cabinet, a VC2A, sorry, to smooth out the sound a little bit. And then the whole thing, if I go to channel, output, that's it. I've not done sound output because I've actually got two basses going on here. I've got the sub of the Monarch just to give that constant sub sound, and a little bit of shape is coming from the Massive X. I've routed both of them on the group. I've routed the whole group basically that has the basses on to G1, and on G we have a supercharger, and if I do play part of the track, let's have a look where we've got some bass happening. There's so the side chain on the supercharger, the needle's pumping. It's nice to be able to see the graphic motion there, and that's why I don't use the the built-in compressor, apart from the fact this just sounds a whole lot better. The attack is not, you can't change the attack and release times on it, but I just like the way it works, and it fits in with project tempos. I've done projects at 90 beats a minute, and I've done 170 beats a minute for UK drill, and it works. I had that limited amount of time and I had to find a really quick method to do this. So it looks like most of the chops are in sound 6. No, the voice is. Now if I go to keyboard mode for a second, you can see I'm set to C-2. If you have this set where it normally would be at C3, you've got nothing. So why is that? If I go to sampling mode a minute, zone, you can see there are quite a few different samples, and the machine automatically places them at C-2 to make room for a lot of other samples that you might have over the top. I was quite pleased that I managed to make what I thought was better vocal chops than you will get in the expansion packs, and affect them. You could take the reverb off to have them dry and then use them in any piece differently. They are definitely better. It's a better way to hunt for vocal chops than looking in any of the expansions. Sure, the kits are absolutely brilliant. A lot of the sounds are brilliant, and there's quite a few samples in the sounds, but no, there's a real shortage of vocals on there without having to go and buy things from vocal libraries. But if you can use something like Pharlight, that sound, that voice sound, was completely generated from tiny grains put back together with an envelope, and the scanning was going right through the waveform. Normally I would slice samples to a different group, and then each pad is a different sampler, so you could adjust modulation, you could adjust pitch, things like this for each sample. But no, limited time. So all I did was, this sound here, I could duplicate that sound to an empty group. So duplicate that sound, group H, pad 1. So let's chop that up. Sampling. slice and manual. Let's have mono on, no pattern, otherwise it'll lay down a pattern and play it back automatically, and the pattern down at C-2, you'll forget, and you'll be scrolling down the piano editor if you're anything like me, going, what's on this, what's happening, there's something playing and I haven't done it, it's hidden down the bottom somewhere. Yeah, manual slicing wasn't working. I've forgotten this several times actually, and it's not working. So you switch to a different slice mode like detect or grid, come back to manual, and suddenly the pad is flashing ready for you to slice. In a way it sort of arms the manual slicing. I think it's a bug myself. Anyway. There we've got some slices. Now, to save time, I applied them. You can apply them to the sound itself, but I like to keep an original. Let's put them there to sound 2. Select. So we should still have our original here. But the slices are still shown on it. And if we select our slices, here we have them. Apologies, I've had to cut the video short there, the editing of it. Really, there was 2 or 3 different tangents going on. One was sampling for beginners, the other was an in-depth look at granular synthesis, which was going to follow that. And then the other one was more to do with chopping and slicing for people who already have a good grasp of the machine hardware. So I'm going to do it as separate videos, and I'm going to also do compositions with the egg timer using just granular synthesis, but in a much more organised way. That was just a bit of a ramble around some of the aspects to do with the bass, to do with using Pharlight, that I did in the actual piece of music, but I just really wanted to get the music out there, which I've achieved at least. So I'll cut this one short. Thank you very much for listening, and hit the subscribe button please, that really helps me to motivate myself to do all this editing. The composition's the easy part of it and the fun part of it, and aligning everything up with the video and the cameras and everything, it's a lot more time consuming than writing the music. So yeah, I want to get back to it and enjoy it, but please do hit subscribe, that does help. Okay, thanks for watching, back soon.